Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm delighted to have you here today. We're about to dive into an important topic, monitoring and closure of CAPA. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'll be guiding you through this presentation. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the key aspects of effective CAPA monitoring and how to ensure proper closure. We'll look at best practices, common challenges, and practical tips to help you implement these processes smoothly. So, let's get started and make this session both informative and engaging. Let's start with the definition of CAPA. CAPA stands for Corrective Action and Preventive Action. It's a fundamental part of quality management systems. Corrective action involves activities that are aimed at eliminating the root cause of detected nonconformities or any other undesirable situations. Essentially, when something goes wrong, corrective actions are what we take to fix the problem and prevent it from happening again. On the other hand, preventive action focuses on identifying and eliminating the causes of potential nonconformities before they even occur. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. By doing so, we can prevent problems from arising in the first place, saving time and resources down the line. Now, these concepts are supported by various regulatory references. For instance, the FDA 21 CFR Part 820.1 emphasizes the importance of CAPA in maintaining compliance. The EU GMP guidelines, particularly Parts I and III, also highlight the need for effective CAPA systems. Additionally, ICH Q10 provides a comprehensive framework for establishing a robust quality system that includes CAPA as a core component. Overall, CAPA is about continuously improving our processes by addressing issues both when they happen and before they happen. It's a key driver in maintaining product quality and ensuring patient safety throughout our operations. Let's walk through some key points to ensure we're effectively managing regulatory expectations. First, we need to identify the issues or areas that require attention. Once we've pinpointed these, the next step is to investigate the root causes behind them. Understanding the causes thoroughly allows us to analyze what's really driving the problem. From there, we can implement targeted actions to address these issues. But it's not just about acting. We also need to verify that our actions are actually effective in resolving the problems. After confirming effectiveness, it's important to monitor trends over time to catch any new or recurring issues early. And finally, we should review everything periodically to make sure our processes stay aligned with evolving regulatory requirements. All of these steps help us stay compliant and proactive, which is essential in meeting regulatory expectations and maintaining trust. Let's walk through the CAPA lifecycle, which is central to our quality management process. It all begins with detection and identification, where we recognize that there's a potential issue. This step is crucial because catching problems early helps prevent bigger issues down the line. Once we've identified a problem, we move on to evaluation and prioritization. Here, we assess the severity and impact of the issue so we can focus on what's most critical to address first. Next is investigation, where we dig into the root cause of the problem. This step is essential because addressing only the surface symptoms doesn't prevent recurrence. After pinpointing the root cause, we develop an action plan, including corrective actions and preventive actions, to eliminate the cause and prevent future occurrences. Then we implement these actions, making sure they are executed effectively. Once done, we perform a verification or effectiveness check to confirm that the solution actually works and the issue is resolved. Finally, we move into monitoring and closure, where we keep an eye on the process to ensure the problem stays solved and formally close the CAPA. This life cycle is a continuous loop that helps us improve our processes systematically and sustain quality over time. Now, let's talk about monitoring CAPA, or corrective and preventive actions. First, it's important to know what exactly we should be monitoring. One key aspect is the timeliness of CAPA initiation, making sure we start the process promptly once an issue is identified. Next, we need to assess the quality of the root cause analysis. Is it thorough and accurate? We also have to ensure compliance to timelines. Are we completing each step within the set deadlines? Another critical point is the effectiveness verification results. Are the actions taken actually resolving the issue? And finally, we should look at trending and reoccurrence. Are similar issues happening again, or are they truly being addressed? Now, regarding how often we should monitor, it varies depending on the risk level. For high-risk areas, monitoring should be done daily to catch and address issues quickly. For routine processes, weekly or monthly checks are usually sufficient. And for system-wide reviews or less critical areas, quarterly or even annual reviews help ensure everything stays on track. By keeping a close eye on these aspects, we can ensure our CAPA process is effective, timely, and ultimately helps us improve quality and compliance across the board. Let's take a look at CAPA monitoring tools. First, we have KPI dashboards. These are really useful for quickly visualizing how we're doing with our corrective and preventive actions. For example, we can track the percentage of CAPAs that are closed on time, which helps us ensure timely resolution. We also look at the percentage of repeat CAPAs, indicating whether underlying issues are being effectively addressed. And of course, monitoring overdue CAPAs helps us identify any delays so we can take corrective measures promptly. Next, we have trend tools, which are essential for understanding patterns over time. Pareto analysis helps us identify the most common causes or issues, so we can focus our efforts where they'll have the greatest impact. Control charts allow us to monitor process stability and detect any shifts or variations that might signal a problem. By using these tools together, we get a comprehensive view of our CAPA performance, making it easier to identify areas for improvement and ensure continuous quality. This aligns perfectly with our overall goal of strengthening our quality management system through ongoing monitoring and improvement. Let's take a closer look at the criteria for CAPA closure. First, it's essential that the root cause of the issue is clearly identified. Without understanding what caused the problem, any corrective actions may only be treating the symptoms. Next, we need to ensure that both corrective and preventive actions are actually implemented. This means fixing the immediate issue and putting measures in place to prevent it from happening again. Then, we verify the results through relevant metrics to confirm that the actions taken have been effective. This step helps us assess whether the problem has truly been resolved. Speaking of effectiveness, it's important to demonstrate that the actions not only worked but are sustainable over time. Furthermore, all of this work should be reviewed and approved by quality assurance to ensure compliance and completeness. And finally, we must document all evidence related to these activities. Proper documentation provides traceability and supports continuous improvement. So, in summary, these criteria are all about ensuring that CAPA is thorough, effective, and well documented, which ultimately helps us maintain high-quality standards across our processes. Now, let's look at CAPA verification and effectiveness checking. First, it's important to understand the difference between verification and effectiveness. Verification is about confirming that the planned action has actually been implemented. It's a way to ensure that what was supposed to be done has been done. On the other hand, effectiveness checks whether that action truly solved the problem or prevented it from happening again. Both are crucial, but they serve different purposes. Verification tells us that the steps were taken, while effectiveness confirms that those steps achieved the desired result. To assess this, we use various tools. Audit results are valuable because they provide an independent review of whether actions were completed correctly. Statistical data helps us analyze trends and patterns over time, giving us insight into whether the problem is under control. Process performance metrics allow us to see if the process is functioning as intended after the corrective action. And trend analysis helps us identify any recurring issues or improvements over a period. Connecting this to our overall quality management approach, verification ensures compliance, while effectiveness ensures continuous improvement. Both are essential for closing the loop in our CAPA process and maintaining high standards. Now, let's talk about documenting CAPA. When it comes to required records, it's essential to keep comprehensive CAPA forms or logs that detail each step of the process. Investigations should be thoroughly documented, including findings that help us understand the root cause. A risk assessment is also vital to evaluate the impact of the issue and the effectiveness of our corrective actions. We need clear evidence showing that our implementation steps were followed and effective, which means collecting verification data to confirm the issue has been resolved. Signatures and approvals are crucial to verify accountability and review, ensuring that the right people have validated each stage. And finally, maintaining trending records helps us monitor patterns over time, so we can identify recurring problems and improve our processes. A best practice I want to highlight is linking CAPAs to other key records like batch records, deviations, out-of-specification results, complaints, and audit findings. This interconnected approach creates a comprehensive picture of quality issues and helps us ensure that everything is aligned and traceable across our quality system. It's really about creating a seamless flow of information that supports continuous improvement and compliance. In this slide, I want to walk you through an example of a CAPA, or corrective and preventive action, specifically for an out-of-specification result in an API assay. So, the issue here was that we received an OOS result, which indicates that the measurement was outside our predefined specifications. This kind of result can be a serious concern because it impacts product quality and compliance. Now, digging into the root cause, we identified that the problem stemmed from calibration drift of the HPLC instrument. Over time, the calibration can shift, leading to inaccurate assay results. Recognizing this root cause is crucial because it guides our corrective actions. For corrective actions, we recalibrated the HPLC and ensured that analysts were retrained on proper calibration procedures. This step is essential to immediately address the issue and prevent recurrence from the same source. On the preventive side, we decided to increase the frequency of calibration checks and implement real-time monitoring. These measures help us catch calibration drift early before it results in OOS outcomes, thus maintaining consistent assay performance. To verify the effectiveness of these actions, we conducted follow-up testing and created trending charts. Monitoring these trends over time allows us to confirm that the problem has been resolved and doesn't recur unexpectedly. Finally, the closure was confirmed after observing a stable trending pattern over 3 months, with no further OOS results. This demonstrates that our CAPA was successful, and it aligns with our overall commitment to continuous quality improvement. Let's take a look at this example of equipment failure CAPA. The issue here was a breakdown of the tablet press, which led to a deviation in quality. This kind of failure can really impact production and product consistency. Now, when we dig into the root cause, it was identified as poor preventive maintenance checks. Essentially, the maintenance schedule wasn't thorough enough, which allowed the equipment to deteriorate or fail unexpectedly. To address this, we took corrective actions by repairing and adjusting the equipment to get it back into proper working order. But fixing the immediate problem isn't enough. We also need to prevent it from happening again. So, we revised the preventive maintenance schedule and updated the checklists to ensure regular, thorough inspections moving forward. After implementing these actions, verification showed a reduction in unplanned downtime, which is a key indicator that our corrective and preventive measures are working effectively. Finally, we closed the CAPA once the issue was confirmed to be resolved over 3 consecutive production cycles, demonstrating stability and consistent operation. This example highlights how identifying the root cause and taking appropriate corrective and preventive steps can effectively address equipment issues, ultimately supporting overall quality and efficiency. Let's take a moment to consider some common inspection questions. One key question is, how do you trend CAPA data? This is about understanding how we analyze our corrective and preventive actions over time to identify patterns or recurring issues. Tracking this helps us spot trends and improve our processes. Another important question is, how do you ensure effectiveness? This means showing that our CAPAs actually resolve the issues and prevent recurrence, not just close the cases. It's crucial to have evidence that our actions work. Additionally, inspectors will ask, how many CAPAs are overdue? This helps assess our responsiveness and whether we're managing issues in a timely manner. Now, moving on to what inspectors expect during an audit. They look for a CAPA system that's well documented and clearly defined. That means our procedures are written down and understood. They also want to see evidence of trending, so we need to demonstrate how we analyze data over time. Root cause justification is essential, showing that we've identified the true underlying issues. Effectiveness data is a must, proving that our corrective actions are successful. Inspectors will review our metrics, so it's important to have clear, measurable indicators. And finally, they expect periodic management reviews, regularly scheduled evaluations of our CAPA system to ensure continuous improvement. Connecting all these points back to our overall quality management approach underscores the importance of a robust, proactive CAPA process. Let's take a look at some common deficiencies we often see in CAPA processes. First, poor root cause analysis is a big one. When we don't thoroughly identify the true underlying cause of a problem, we're setting ourselves up for ineffective corrective actions down the line. Next, even if actions are identified, they're not always implemented properly, which means the problem might not actually get resolved. Another issue is the lack of effectiveness checks. It's not enough to just implement a solution. We need to verify that it actually works and prevents recurrence. We also see CAPA backlogs or overdue actions, which can delay resolution and impact compliance. Trending is another critical area. Without analyzing data over time, we miss patterns that could help prevent future issues. And finally, incomplete documentation can cause confusion and hinder audits or continuous improvement efforts. All of these points highlight how important it is to have a robust, disciplined approach to CAPA, ensuring each step is thorough and well executed to truly improve our processes and quality. So to wrap things up, let's look at the key points on this slide. First, CAPA, or corrective and preventive action, is absolutely crucial for maintaining compliance. It's not just about fixing issues when they arise, but making sure those issues don't happen again. It's essential that CAPA actions are timely, addressing problems quickly to prevent escalation. They also need to be properly documented so we have a clear record of what was done and why. And of course, the actions must be effective, solving the root cause, not just treating the symptoms. Monitoring plays a vital role here, as it ensures the reliability of our processes over time. Regularly checking the effectiveness of CAPA helps us stay on track. Trending issues allows us to identify patterns and prevent recurrence, rather than just reacting to individual problems. Additionally, audits are a powerful tool to strengthen the system. They help us verify that our CAPA processes are working as intended and highlight areas for improvement. Now, connecting all this to the bigger picture, continuous improvement, it's clear that CAPA is a key component. By systematically addressing issues, monitoring progress, and learning from trends, we create a cycle of ongoing enhancement. This approach not only keeps us compliant, but also pushes us toward higher quality and better performance overall. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help with any questions or additional information you might need. Feel free to contact us whenever it's convenient for you. And with that, I want to sincerely thank you all for your time and attention today. I appreciate your engagement and look forward to any future opportunities to collaborate or assist. Thank you again, and have a great day.